Welcome back, everyone. I am DerKrampus, and welcome back to Sailwind. When we last left off, we had just departed from Fort Astron towards the southern spur of our mail delivery route. We're already closing in on Sunspire. It really is very close to Astron. It's not a difficult run at all. At Sunspire, closing in on the port bow, and very distant you can see Mount Malefic peeking over the horizon. That's where we're going to eventually end up. So, it's not proving terribly profitable running the short mail routes here. But hopefully, we'll be building up enough reputation here to where we can start tackling routes down to Happy Bay or maybe even the Emerald Archipelago. It would be nice to get a change of scenery, but I don't know if our little boat's truly up for that yet. At the very least, we'd have to buy some more water, some more fish hooks for the journey. We could probably do it. It might not be pleasant, but we could probably do it. So, let's keep ourselves pointed about this way. There we go. Somewhere around there. We got the boat nice and clean from last episode. We can get the little bits that we missed here, if anything. Now that we've got some proper daylight to work with. I know this doesn't actually do anything, but it is just something to do at the time. Alright. It's a time waster, and that can be very important sometimes. Alright. Obviously, the end goal is to get a ship of our own, no longer be confined to the mail service. Hopefully, once we get into the brig, it'll be just a matter of time before we're able to start really bringing in the big bucks. And oh my goodness, what was that? Did you? My goodness. Okay. All right. Well, goodbye, I suppose. Bye. Goodbye. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna pretend we didn't see that. Yeah. Huh. Alright. This really isn't doing us much good at the moment. It's just rattling all over the place. But it will be useful once we make the turn, so maybe we bring up the square sail now, and that should let that catch some wind. Should. Can we just... we bring this out wing on wing, maybe? Is wing on wing a thing? There we go. There we go. Okay. Alright. Much better. Look at that cloud. What do you... Okay. That way the wind's blowing on both the left and right side of the boat. It'll kind of balance it out, keep it from wanting to turn away from the wind. So we have 2 going to Sunspire here. In a bit, we'll have 2 going to Mount Malefic, so it'll be nice. After that, we'll be clawing our way probably back up towards Fort Astron, and we'll see if they have any international jobs for us, just to kind of spice things up. We can buy at least a couple barrels of water. We'll see how well we're able to equip ourselves. Might need some navigation tools. And that could get very expensive, so let's see how it is. Alright, I see the trees. There it is, there's the dock. So, let's go ahead and start swinging our way in. Probably mean, yeah, we need to pull this in. Pull that across. Come on, there we go. Coming from north to south in Astron is always very easy. It's clawing your way back up north that's kind of a bear. Alright. I would love to get this thing rigged up into kind of a miniature brigantine rig, but I don't think we're going to have that kind of coin. And by the time we do, we could almost buy the brig with how much it would cost us, so let's see if we can start making some proper money with what we've got. There we go. Keep ourselves pointed at the dock. Getting the jib up will be the slow part of this. The gaff, the nicest thing about the gaff is that you can just hold shift and drop it right down. You can essentially just put the brakes on. I like their little lake. That's cute. Alright. What we'll probably do is we'll finish our delivery down to Mount Malefic, and then we'll rest there. And then start making our way back up. Although we really might as well just rest at sea and pass the time. Let's just sleep at sea. That's the best way to do it anyway. So let's go ahead and curl up the jib. Drop down the gaff. Hopefully we just have enough momentum to coast on in here. Actually throw a stern line on there. There we go. Bring us to a stop in a hurry. we'll refill our water barrel. I guess we'll buy another one as well, and that'll start. We'll start provisioning for our overseas voyage we're planning here. I don't know that it'll be enough, and I don't know that they'll offer us the job, but does it tell me when we can start getting it? Oh. Well, shoot, we could take the mail to Happy Bay right from here. So maybe we go to Fort Astron. How many can we take? We can take 3. So I say we work our way back up to Fort Astron. And because Happy Bay is basically back this way from there, we'll be able to just pick up some mail from Astron, some mail from Sunspire, some mail from Malefic. We'll deliver all 3 of those down there. How much would that pay? 497 crowns. That's not bad. Compared to 32. Yeah, that's not bad at all. We've got 253 right now. Let's drop this on here. Let's get a couple, another barrel or 2 of water. Start storing that up. No, before the shops all close here. Is this water? Please tell me this is water. Alright. Good, good. Expensive, but we need it. That knocks us down to 42 crowns. Alright. It's not much. We'll at the very least need a chronometer and a sun compass, so we may be stuck around here for a little bit still. We could try and get down there with just the compass. I'm not confident that that's a good idea. Kind of like to know where I am. A little bit more precision than that. Let's start heading towards Malefic. Oh, oh my. What did I just... Sir? Did I just climb a shroud? Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's a thing. That might be a shipyard expansion thing because it added crow's nests, so... Maybe the ability to climb up rat lines is part of that mod. What's the wind like? Alright. Let's square that up. Run that out. I guess we can run out everything else too, can't we? Ourselves at the somewhat upwind point there. the square sail. Alright. Let's let this out a bit more. It's looking like the ship is having to fight very hard to fight that weather helm. There we go. That's still a lot. Tighten that up more. Yeah, good enough. What you read about there? Okay. Let's get some sleep. I'll be back when we wake up. Oh, goodness. It seems that we were moving faster than I thought. We've gone ahead and run ourselves right aground here at Mount Malefic, but we are where we're supposed to be, so that's something at least. We're gonna have to all anchor and drag ourselves out of here. Alright. Improved Anchors mod proves its worth once again, hopefully. Come directly astern here. As far as I can get it. Right there. Alright. Hopefully that'll have enough bite to pull us off of this shoal here. Is it gonna pull us backward? There we go. Let's winch ourselves free. Excellent. Excellent. Alright. We don't seem to be taking on water, so we must not have beached ourselves too badly. Not that that's a thing yet. Alright, the anchor is coming up off the bottom. There we go. We'll use our backwards momentum to kind of get our nose pointed back over. Ourselves pointed into port. There's another shallow at this end of the dock that we need to avoid. Let's go ahead. Jib. That's going to help push us around. There we go. Just going to aim to the left of that tree. There we go. Seems like a good aiming point. Just gonna keep that halyard there, right on the tree. Is our obstruction. We're a day early on this one. And it looked like we were significantly early on the other. Yeah, 2 days early on this one. We're making good time. So, what's the wind look like? The wind is actually looking pretty good. It's blowing out of the south for once. We really need to take advantage of that and use it to get out of here. So let's bring the Mailman to Sunspire. Mail to Fort Astron. Then once we're there, we're going to just continue. Yeah, let's pick up another one to Astron at Sunspire when we get there. And then we'll start thinking about an international trip. This Happy Bay is how far? Yeah, about halfway to Dragon Cliffs. We need to pack some fruit so we don't starve ourselves to death. Speaking of starving to death, we should probably eat some traditional morning breakfast sushi. May even want to consider a third fishing pole in case things get a little bit lean and dicey. us up too much. Either way, we need to get going while the wind is still good. Get turned around. Come on. Turn it around. Turn it around. There we go. Switch off. We're taking mail to Sunspires. We'll get lined up with them. Wind coming in off a slight broad reach. So. Set it all the way out. The wind is pretty gentle as well, so I say we get the square out as well. There we go. All of the canvas. Yeah, follow in our footsteps all you like. That's all you'll ever do. Alright. Let's start making our way back to the capital. First here, then there. What's the wind look like to the capital? Not bad. It is coming out of a more common direction. Not bad. We'll run it as long as we can. Get some power on the boat. There we go. All right. We picked up any more fish yet? We have. All right. Not much food, but let's get ourselves lined up here. Aim a bit upwind. guess we'll go ahead and pull up the square sail. In the water. And with that, I say we take a day nap. At least until the wind shifts and goes into our face again. So we'll probably come back to that. Wind isn't entirely in our face, imagine that. It's about midday, a little past midday. We are closing in on Sunspire. Could downwind just a little bit. Line ourselves up with the dock, maybe pick up a bit of speed. Go. The gaff sail does feel a bit overpowered. I almost can't trim it properly without it just rounding up into the wind. But it'll do. It's better to have too much authority back there than too little. You can use it to trim the boat out at least. Again, if we want to kill that weather helm, we could just dump it out like that. This would center itself right back up. Yeah. In fact, on the big sailing ships, that's really what the that spanker sail at the back was for. It was for balancing up the helm of the ship. Looking on cleanliness, we doing okay? There we go. A couple spots we missed. It's starting to darken up. Gotta look good coming into port. Can't have the postal service looking sloppy now, can we? Alright. Have any fish on? We do. Try my best not to have to purchase fish, because we really do have a lot of other things that are going to be demanding our coin coming up to our next voyage. Going to be a lot of competing interests, so we need to make sure that we've prepared. We've got the reputation to start those jobs. It's a question of, do we have the equipment? When we get there, we'll price out the cost of a sun compass, cost of a chronometer. Hopefully, it won't be too far out of reach. If it is, we might just wing it with the compass. We'll see. It'd be quite a voyage on just a compass or just a quadrant. Alright, let's go ahead and pull everything in. There's a lot of uncertainty on your position when you get out into the open ocean. And that can be really unsettling. It's nice to be able to pinpoint right where you are on the map. We're going to need another little bit of push in here. Little boost. There we go. Spire. There we go. Grab one with the A string. We will keep moving. The wind coming from, right where we want to go. So I say we fall off that way, southwest. Push off. There we go. Got everything ready to go. Too close to the wind for a detach. There we go. Alright, at least we'll be getting west. And then once we're clear of the island, we can maybe tack over towards 4-day string. Let's get fed. Oh, what do you know? The sea provides. Sails are making a lot of noise and doing a lot of complaining, but we are still moving forward, so not too worried about it. Looks like we're just gonna eat our fill here. Which is good, we've been hungry for a while. We'll get into food preservation and such later. I've been doing some experiments with it. I think I've got it more or less figured out. But there's also the fact that if you just keep on it and just eat as you catch it, you can kind of keep up with your hunger without too much issue. That's the other thing we'll have to pick up. We'll have to pick up some fruits and vegetables for the journey. Otherwise, we'll risk starving to death on nutrition. Alright, what is going on with the wind? The wind is being very cooperative. Or perhaps very cooperative. It's moving from the south, which is exactly where we want it to go. And pull in. Draw everything up tight. Maybe that'll give us something to work with. Alright, we've eaten. We've got our fill of water. The wind is out of the west-southwest. We want to go west-northwest. Right there. We'll be really tight to the wind that way. Let's travel this way a bit. Although it does kind of just bring us closer to Malefic again, but let's take a bit of a ride this way, and then we'll tack through the wind and come back up north. We are getting our westward component in. We just need to get our northward component. Alright, looks like the wind is shifting even less in our favor. So we're going to fall off to the south a bit. Let's get a little speed on the boat, a little momentum, and then we'll tack through. Everything's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and just tack to west-northwest. We said we would, so we're going to throw it hard over. Just leave that jib. We'll let it back for a bit. It's going to help push the bow over. Come on, keep the turn going, keep the turn going. There we go. Release it on this side, pull it home on this side, sheet it in. Tighten the sheet from this side, get it fully centered. And west-northwest. Alright, that's a successful tack. Can't really see Fort Eastern from here. Oh, nope, I can. It's directly northwest of us. So let's get going northwest. That's good. That'll get us even farther off the wind. Be able to pick up some speed. Alright. Just square that up. For balance purposes. Lock that down. Okay. That's heading into Fort Eastern, so I think it's time for another nap. Hopefully we'll have daylight when we wake back up. We'll see. Alright, we're back. It is in fact morning. The wind is largely holding steady, if not strengthening. We are cruising our way past Sunspire at the moment. Checking our angles again. We are looking mostly good. Which means we can go ahead and just tend to our needs for now. It is starting to rain, so I'm just gonna refill from all these different barrels, because they're all gonna start refilling in the rain. We're just leaving water on the table otherwise, aren't we? Alright. I wonder if I would get seasick playing this game in VR. When and if it comes. It certainly looks like it's in the cards, because all the menus and stuff are all physicalized within the game, which is what you'd want in a VR game. So it's like they've laid the groundwork for it. But who knows, maybe we'll get it eventually. This game would probably get absolutely terrifying in VR. As chill and relaxing as it is, once you get into very bad weather, it can get very stressful. In its own way. Alright, we're fed, we're watered. Sweep before it rains. Gotta get it clean so it can get dirty. There we go. It's a bit like cleaning the kitchen. Cleaning the kitchen before you cook dinner. You're just gonna make it dirty again, but it's worth it to cook with a clean kitchen. I love to cook. I don't know about you. I really enjoy it. Let's do tomorrow. I think if our wind holds, I think we'll make it. It's not really howling. But the rain's telling me the wind's probably going to pick up. So I'm not going to put up the square sail just yet. That could be dicey if we do. Yeah, you see the decimals ticking up there from the light rain. That's the refillable barrels mod doing its thing. They don't refill very quickly, but they do refill, so if you have barrels that you can rotate in and out, that could be the difference on a very long voyage. Could be. Maybe not. They do refill faster if you take them into something like a full-blown storm, so there is that. Alright. Oh, what is going on? Why is it jittering all over the place? Do you see that? I can't be the only one who sees that. It's like shaking. That's weird. I haven't seen it do that before. Okay. Alright, I guess I'm going to take another quick rest here. We'll skip forward a bit, see where we're at. Alright, we are late morning now. The rain is just doing its thing. The rain barrels are doing their thing. And the wind appears to be holding, so at this rate we'll be in Aestrin no problem. And a day early. The wind is howling, so it was a good call not to put out the square sail. There we go. Sheep jib in bed. Sheep gaff in bed. Chill, just enough to put some pull on it. There we go. So you want to have a balanced helm, otherwise every time you come over a wave and your rudder lifts out of the water, your boat's going to want to turn in whatever direction the wind wants to push it. So now we know that. Right, there's nothing on this line. Anything on here? Yes, there is. We'll take another little nap, and that should be us about ready to pull into Aestrin. Let's see. Yep, just about. The wind has shifted right into our faces, but what else could we possibly expect? Use what little we have off that sail to drive us off the wind a bit. There we go. There we go. Get a little bite in the sails. just come back this way. When it's time, we'll work our way through the wind and in. We're really fortunate to have the wind at our backs for almost the entire way, so I'm not too concerned about having to fight it here right at the end. It feels like that would be ungrateful. Very choppy. The wind is still giving us a lot of lip here. This would not be a very pleasant ride. Yeah, that's not a very good angle. We'll probably have to hook around the rock there and come in, or hook very close to it at least, at about that angle. Yeah. I swear it's not an impulse. I can stop doing this at any time. Anytime. No problem. I do it because I like it, not because I have to. There we go. Although we do also have to, it's one of our requirements. Keep the boat clean. It is a company boat. Alright. Be coming in a little tight. Let's push out a little bit farther. Alright, you see we have an orange down there. That means that we have not been eating enough fruit. If that continues, we will eventually become sick and die. So, we do need to go in, get some fruit, preferably some citrus, or we will develop scurvy. That wouldn't be fun. Coming out of the northwest, I want to go west-southwest. I think we can make that happen. Alright, haul everything in tight. As tight as it'll go. As tight as everything will go. Then throw the wheel over. There we go. Come on, push on through. Push on through. You can do it. I've seen you do it before. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Come on. There we go. The jib is backing. It's going to push our nose around. Switch sides on the jib. Pull it in tight. Backing a bit, so let's... Yeah, that was a failed tack, unfortunately. Alright. No matter. We know what to do. We know how to deal with a failed tack, don't we? We've done it before. Everything loose except the square. Let the square push us where we need to go. There we go. Square up. Sheet in the jib on a starboard tack. as far as we dare. Come on. You know you want to pick up some speed. You know you want to. We're not that close to win. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now we're pointing where we need to go. We're going to claw our way up the wind, but we are coming up the wind. Okay. There we go. All right. It's looking like we'll end up putting it right into the shipyard, which I don't mind one bit. We can't afford anything there, but I don't mind it. Alright. Let's go ahead and... Now, if we take a nap now, it'll just plow us into the dock, won't it? Yeah, let's go ahead and just let it happen. I don't really want to eat a fish because I need to eat some fruit. Need to stay hungry for that. Of course, the sun's setting. Hopefully we'll be able to find some proper nutrition before nightfall. What do we have in here? It's hard to tell. Looks like it's just doing that thing where it skims above the water. Down in the water. There we go. We're almost there. Almost. So close, but so far. We do have 3 water barrels. I would kind of like a 4th on our way to Happy Bay. We'll see what we end up with. Yes, hello, it is us again. Here to take up space in your perfectly otherwise legitimate business. I mean, let's be real, there's no other ships here for you to refit. I've already put gaff sails in every other cog in Astron. Get this mail delivered. See what we're working with. And order ourselves some produce. Where can we get that? Yes, produce, fish, fish. We need produce. Yes, that'll do. Thank you. Alright. How much is the sun compass? 141. We could buy that. How much is the chronometer? 2,252. We very much don't have that. 7,000 for that. Alright, let's at least buy the sun compass, since we will need it soon. Need it very soon. Soon. Alright. Let's get everything delivered. At least with the sun compass, rather, we'll be able to know our latitude fairly accurately. But longitude is going to be a little bit more tricky. You kind of do need the chronometer for that. As it was in real life. So we'll be able to know how far north or south we are, but we won't be able to know how far east or west we are. Which means we'll have to hold a really, really precise course, and I don't know if the small boat is up for that. They tend to just get kind of tossed around all over, end up way off course. So... we could just sail more or less due south until we hit the right latitude and then turn west. That's an option. That is very much an option. Alright, so... you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's sleep on the boat until morning. And then we will provision ourselves with some vegetables in the morning. And then grab ourselves some jobs for Happy Bay, because why not? Why not? We'll never hit it big if we don't take any risks. This is nighttime. This is the opposite of waiting till morning. I would like to sleep till morning, please. Morning. Morning, please. Sleep me until morning, please. Are we going? Is it going to morning? Morning, please. No, this is also not morning. This is very much the middle of the night. It's almost morning. Maybe, but it is not. This is like midnight. This is basically midnight. And I don't want to waste the coin at the inn, because that's coin we could use to provision. So let's try and sleep once more. Maybe we'll get morning. There we go. Alright, it is morning. Sun is shining. I've jumped into the water. I'm going to drown here. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead. Get some water. Get some fruits and vegetables, some food to take with us. How much is a drying rack? If we buy a bunch of produce and then 522 crowns. That's very expensive. Alright. Water. You know, boxes of apples, things like that. Cheese. Wine. Rum. Fish. Sausages. Pork. There isn't any. What about here? Anything? Not really. Alright. Soon. Less soon. Alright. So I'm going to bring a box over here, and we're just going to load some of these up. What about a knife? Can I buy a knife? Does anyone have a knife? You, sir, do you have a knife? No? They do. No knife. Alright. Maybe over here in the cooking stall they'll have it. Do you have a knife? You have a knife. 43 crowns. It's an investment. Alright. Some of the fruit and such, we may not have a drying rack, but we might be able to get it to dry anyway just by putting it out in the open. That'll keep it nice and preserved for us. I haven't tried it without a drying rack, but I don't see why it wouldn't. We got room in this crate, right? For like 2. Okay. Let's just set you here for now. We'll set you here. You can hang out over here. Map, we'll just bundle up to the wall, like so. There we go. In fact, I think we know our way around Astron, don't we? No, I said we had to buy a map for everywhere we go. Alright. Shoot, can we afford a map to, like, Happy Bay? Can we afford that? I don't know that we can. I don't know that we can. I said we'd need it, didn't I? That was one of our rules in session 1. We would need the international map. The ocean map, 326 crowns. Good lord. Alright, so we cannot get that. But we need to make our move. We'll make the move without a map. As foolhardy as it sounds, that's what we're going to try and do. Buy an apple. We can buy a bunch of apples. Carrots. All sorts of things. How much is, like, a table? How much would that cost? 217, 130, 96, 391. They're expensive. Furniture is expensive. Even here, furniture is expensive. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just put that stuff up here. Just right on the floor here. Here. We're just gonna leave these things out to sun dry on the upper deck. And I've never tried this without the drying rack, but hopefully these should dry out before they rot. Hopefully. How many do we need? We can buy a whole lot. We should probably get a whole lot. Okay. They are not expensive. They're only 1 crown each, so we could get like 64 of these things. But let's get a mix, right? Let's get some cucumbers, a carrot. And these will just be our emergency anti-scurvy rations, because really we're gonna mostly subsist off of fish, I think. At some point we might want to buy some more fish hooks. I'm not a fan of cucumber, honestly. I like it in tzatziki, but I don't really like it as itself. I like pickles. Now that's something that I'd love to see in the game, is maybe pickling. Where you heat things up in one of the pots. Maybe do like canning in a jar or something. Pickling in some vinegar. I think that would be cool. Because, you dry a cucumber and what do you have left, honestly? Things are basically water anyway. Okay. Let's see if we can afford another box of fish hooks. Can we? Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. I don't know why I tried to put that in my inventory. Alright, so there's 20 in a box, and we still haven't gone through our first box that we have there, so I think we'll be okay. We'll stash this box down below. Down here. Do we buy another box just in case? I think we do. I don't think we'll go through it, but we could just have really, really bad luck and lose all our fish hooks, so better to have another. Okay. That, I think we're probably well provisioned. 3 barrels of water. I would kind of like a 4th. But I don't think I'm going to be able to afford one right away. Let's grab a job to Happy Bay from here. And then we'll grab a job to Sunspire and Mount Malefic. We'll just grab a little bit of extra on the way down. Alright, now we're committed. No looking back now. Alright. Sunspire. Mount Malefic. We could take a 4th one. Wow, okay. If we wanted to, but not that there's any mail there. Alright. Mail to Happy Bay. 22 days. We'll see. We'll see what we get. I'm just going to store you over here, more or less out of the way. And out of the rain. Okay. once we make a run like this a few times, we'll be in really good shape, potentially. Yes, I know we're not at Mount Malefic. I'm not trying to deliver it. Okay. You think we'll make it? You think we'll make it? I think we'll make it. Alright. He didn't say we wouldn't. And he's a ship expert, right? He's a shipwright, or does he just loiter here? I don't know. I think we'll make it. We can maybe buy another barrel of water down there on our way out. What we've got here. We'll fill up our barrels as we go. Let's get the ship turned around. The boat. I guess it's not technically a ship. Turn it around. Let's go. Come on. All the way around. Alright. And take us out of here. We do need to drink some water. That's right, we'll refill all our barrels at Sunspire. Is here? No. Take the sun compass. Take the actual compass. Sails up. Wind from starboard. So we'll raise this on a starboard tack. Same for that. We're southward bound, way southward bound this time. That's an hour and a half that we've been going now. I'll be cutting some out, but it's still a very long video, so I'm going to go ahead and let us go right here where we began, departing 4 days for Sunspire. I'm DerKrampus. If you liked the video, please like it, comment, or subscribe to the channel, help us grow. If you didn't like the video, dislike it. YouTube doesn't know the difference. Interaction is interaction. If you think I could have done something better, or if you have suggestions for where we should take our series here, please leave it in the comments section. I'd love to hear back from you. Thank you again for joining me, and have yourselves a great day.